All right, so here we are. We are on, let me just confirm this. I have two computers going here. Okay, so we are here because there's some changes with the French program and we want to make sure that you guys all know what's going on. First and foremost. All right, so number one, somebody resigned. That is Mrs. Foltz. You guys know Mrs. Foltz? Okay, she went to teach in a different district, so we don't have her right now. Number two, we expect the French teacher at the high school, who is the only other French teacher here in the district, we expect that she is going to retire at the end of this school year. So she'll be here for this year, and then she's going to retire. And number three up here, the district is having a little bit of trouble hiring anybody for French or Spanish or any other world language. We've had a Spanish position posted for a couple of years and have not had any good bites. And we've had any world languages opened up since Ms. Volz resigned and have not really gotten any good bites. So we wanted to make you aware of that, and then we're going to talk through what options you have moving forward just so you can make a good decision, because this is going to be important for your graduation. Okay. So you got two options right now. Option number one, you can take French 1 this year. Okay, that is an option. What you'll do is you'll go across the bridge, you'll take it at the high school with Mrs. Lake. Okay, she'll be over there, and we'll have that all built into your schedule if that's what you choose to do. Now, if you take this option, okay, we don't know what's next, because like I said, Miss Lake is going to retire at the end of this school year. So maybe the district gets really lucky and we're able to hire a certified French teacher, and everybody can continue on with French through high school. That would be fantastic. The district is looking into distance learning opportunities. So what that would mean is you'd have like a teacher assistant sitting in the classroom with you, and they would get it up on the screen kind of like this, and there would be a teacher on the screen in some other classroom somewhere else, and they would teach you French. Okay, and the teacher assistant is really just in the classroom just to manage the classroom and walk around and help you guys out. But your teacher is actually not going to be in your classroom, so that's what distance learning is. Third possibility, if this happens, so you decide you want to take French 1 this year, and none of this works out, we don't have a French option when you're a freshman in high school, you could switch to Spanish 1 at that point. Okay, so here's your second option to choose for today, or where we are at this point. You don't need to necessarily choose today, but you do need to choose before we get started up here in September. You could take Spanish 1, okay? And I know that you didn't do Intro to Spanish, but you could transition over to Spanish 1. Our Spanish teachers are prepared. Your Mrs. Gosier and Ms. Coyer are prepared to transition you and teach you some of the nuances that are similar between the two languages and get you prepared, and you would be fine in the Spanish 1 course. So you would take Spanish 1 here at Case. So what are the possibilities for the future if you decide on Spanish 1 today? You can take Spanish throughout high school. We have several Spanish teachers in the district, actually. So it should not be an issue that you get through at least 3 years of Spanish. Or the district is able to hire a French teacher, and then if you really wanted French, you'd be able to switch back to French if that was going to be your stronger opportunity. And if before September, if you chose Spanish today, and come September, we have that French teacher, we'll let you know, and then you can make that decision if we know that we have a teacher secured to teach you French. Okay, so I'm going to let Mr. Freeman take over.
Hello, I'm Mr. Freeman, lead counselor here in the secondary level of the school. So what I want to talk about are the graduation requirements that go along with language. Because in order to graduate with a Regents diploma, you only need 1 credit of a language. So you could get that with the French 1 next year with a teacher, you know, or the Spanish 1 next year, provided you pass the course and the accompanying test to go with that.
Mr. Freeman, if you want to take that down, I just wonder if it's muffled for our, yeah, you're far enough away from everybody.
And so the other piece to that is if you're looking at going on to college, a 4-year college eventually, and it's so early in 8th grade to know whether or not you want to do that, I would encourage you to kind of plan on that. even if you don't plan on it right now out of high school, at some point you may need to go on to college. And the reason I mention this is because if you've had 3 years of a foreign language in high school, typically you do not have to take it at the 4-year college level. That's not all colleges, but most. If you've had 3 years of the foreign language, and the 3 years of the foreign language also gives you the Advanced Regents Diploma, which signifies that you had the college preparatory program, which means I've gone through high school and taken all the classes to be ready to enter college and be successful in college. And if you haven't had the 3 years in high school, you will really have to take many more at the college level. And trust me, they cover a year in a semester. So what we take a full year of school to cover, they cover in about 4 months in a semester. So it goes at a double speed. So that's why I try to encourage students to take the 3 years at high school. Now, go back to what Mrs. Blair said, and if you've only had the instruction for this year with a teacher, and then you go to distance learning, the district can't guarantee that we're going to be able to ever come up with a French teacher to continue on. So if you really work well with the teacher face-to-face in a foreign language to practice how it's pronounced, to practice and ask questions about syntax and the writing elements of subject and verb, then you really probably want to consider transitioning to Spanish to get those full 3 years of Spanish, and that Advanced Regents Diploma so that you can enter that 4-year college that may be in your future. So there's a lot of what ifs, but one thing is secure. As of today, the district can't guarantee an in-person instructor for French 2 for our 8th graders, let alone French 3 down the road. It may happen, but we cannot make a guarantee that there will be a teacher down the road. Whereas right now with Spanish, we can guarantee that. So if you're the kind of student that needs that interaction with an instructor, particularly in a foreign language where you have to do a verbal piece as well as the written piece, you may want to consider transitioning into Spanish. Does that make sense to the two of you, my big audience today? Do you have any questions about that? Right now at the high school, they also have Spanish 4 and 5, in which you can get some college credit for and really get that college element completely out of the way and leave high school with some college credits if you pursue it that far. But right now we're looking at the immediate area. And while you may have been excited about French, and if you're just looking for that one credit, I've got my graduation requirement, I'm going to leave high school and join the military or look at a community college or enter the workforce, that's all you need. But if that 4-year college degree, a bachelor's in education or engineering or something, you really want to have that 3 years in the same language. And you can't go and say, oh, I'll take French this year and then I'll take Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. You've got to have 3 credits in the same language if it's available in your high school, which it will be. So if you took French this year and then we don't have a teacher say, oh, I really want to get that Advanced Regents, you have to start back at Spanish 1 next year. And I will tell you, if you transition, I did it in high school. I went from French to Spanish. And while there's a lot of overlap with the verbs and the verb usage and things like that, the vocabulary is different. The verb usage is the same. So it's not a huge transition to go into Spanish if you've had intro to French already. And our teachers will be prepared for that. Any questions I can answer? You're positive. All right. Because I'm here to answer any questions I can. And for those of you who watch this at home, feel free to email and we can answer any questions after you view the online piece of this. So, if any questions come up, and that goes for you too. If you have any questions, just shoot me an email right on the school website. Okay? Thank you very much. Did I miss anything? Or?
I'll go recap through here.
Oh, I had slides for it, didn't I?
Yeah, I know you just
I get carried away
your
talking.
part so well. A quick, just recap what Mr. Freeman said. So if you're going for a Regents diploma only, all you do need is that 1 year. So they would get the French 1 this year with Mrs. Lake over at the high school. but they would not set themselves up well for any advanced Regents diploma. So just French 1 this year with a checkpoint A exam at the end of this school year would be sufficient if you were only going for a Regents diploma. Okay, and then there's the Regents diploma with advanced designation, and he kind of spoke to that's what the colleges are looking for if you're going to get a bachelor's degree or more. 3 credits in the same language. So French 1, 2, and 3 would be acceptable, but French 1 and Spanish 2 and 3 would not be acceptable, or Spanish 1 and 2 on top of that. You need 3 in the same language. Okay. So what's next? We do need decisions before September starts because we have to plan where all of our students are going. If we have a lot going across the bridge to take the French one over there, or if we have a lot in our Spanish classes here, we are prepared for all of that. We just need to know where to place your child. So we did have a sign-in sheet here, but since we don't have parents in here right now, we're not really going to use that. You can certainly email Mr. Freeman or Mrs. Van Wormer what direction you want to go if you want your child in Spanish 1 or in French 1. There is a Google form available there, or that neat little QR code, and that'll take you right to the Google form so you can fill that out and confirm French or Spanish. But some people certainly will need to discuss this a little more with a counselor, so you are absolutely welcome to call the counseling office, and one of our counselors will get back to you when they are available to discuss this further. Any questions from anybody? I will look in the chat box if you want to put anything in the chat if you're joining us virtually. All right. Well, I think we are in good shape, and I appreciate you guys joining us just to get this information, and we'll get it out to the other students here in the next month. So thank you very much.
Have a good night.
Thank you, everyone.